Welcome to the Working Title Podcast, a podcast where we're always working on something different, but for some reason we always talk about movies. My name is Seamus McMahon, and today I'm joined by Joshua Powers. How you doing, bud?
Doing good, bro.
Awesome. So today we're going to be talking about The Irishman, which we talked about not too long ago, but we had to scrap it, so we're just going to try and bring it back.
The Irishman.
Yeah.
We are both Irish, but
Yeah.
we're not mafia killers.
I mean, you sure about that?
Yes. Seamus says,
I might be. You never know.
Yeah, it's true, bro. It's true.
No, I'm not. Sadly, I don't live an interesting life. But so Irishman, Martin Scorsese's newest movie, but it's pretty much like every other Martin Scorsese movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's about
Same
gangsters. It's set in whatever 1960s, 70s.
Late 50s, early 60s.
Yes.
In that time.
Yeah, in that time period, which he fucking loves to do.
Yeah.
Every
Well, that was
single
when he
one of
was
his
a
movies.
young man. You know?
Yeah, I guess so. Did he grow up in that
He
like
grew up in New York.
New York? Okay.
He grew up with Robert De Niro in New York.
What?
Yeah.
Really? I did not
didn't-
know that.
I didn't know that. I started watching this. They have like they have the Talking Dead, the Walking Dead talk show.
Right.
They did the same thing with The Irishman on Netflix.
Oh,
So
really?
I was watching that for a little bit, and that was one of the first things they started talking about was that they didn't grow up in the same neighborhood, but like very close together.
Huh.
Which is interesting. I like that. I think that's really cool that they.
Yeah, that's like really cool.
Live known each other for their whole lives.
Yeah, it's cool and strange, because I know other, like actors and directors that have known each other. Like Wes Anderson is really good friends and went to high school and college with the Farrell. No. Wow, the Wilson brothers. That's it.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. So Owen Wilson and Jake Wilson.
Yeah.
The brown-haired one, they're always in his movies, like all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't know Robert De Niro knew Martin Scorsese since they were kids. That's really weird.
Yeah.
So, The Irishman.
Yes.
Very long movie. Very
3
long
hours,
movie.
right? Is that with the
3
final?
hours and 29 minutes or something like
3
that.
hours and 29 minutes?
Or 39 minutes.
God, that must have taken them months to edit.
Yeah.
Holy
Well,
shit, dude.
I'm pretty sure they filmed it a year and a half ago or something like that. Like a long time ago.
They filmed it a year and a half ago?
I think so. But it like came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a
I
long
was
movie.
anticipating it for a long time, though. I was
Right.
really looking forward to it.
Yeah, like they announced it, or like it's done. We just have to edit it, and then it's going on Netflix, which is the strangest thing, especially for Martin
Also, in a way,
Scorsese.
it's kind of cool. Like, usually in the past, the way it works is when there's a huge $140 million movie,
Yeah,
they're gonna push that internationally. They're gonna push it huge. A lot of promo. It's gonna be on every screen in the fucking entire country.
mm-hmm.
But if you fucking already paid your Netflix subscription, you could just watch it in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah.
And I heard some people say they should break it up into hour segments. I don't think so. I disagree strongly with that. I think that it's good in one solid chunk.
Yeah, they did that with The Hateful Eight, and I didn't like it. Because then you have to, there's like credits at the end, and then you have to hit the next episode part, and it's like, it's
not
just
with
weird.
a great filmmaker like Scorsese. Or
Yeah, you don't do that.
Tarantino, I mean, yeah, I'm glad they did it the way that they did it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to break it up, then just pause it and fucking come back later when you have some more time. It's that simple.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do this very same thing. You could break it up just the way.
Yeah, you can make your own intermission
Yeah.
whenever you want to.
Excuse me, I make my own intermission with this
Mhm.
movie?
I gotta go get a snack. I had to pee.
Exactly, dude.
Which I actually learned recently. That's why feature-length films are set to like two and a half hours. Because back in the day, that's how long filmmakers thought people had the attention for before they had to they didn't care anymore and had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That people could sit down for 2.5 hours and watch a movie without having to get up.
Yeah.
And that's why that's what the standard is.
Really?
Which is crazy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What do you think is the perfect movie length?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
It depends on the story.
Yeah.
Because I think 90 minutes is like really clean cut. If you have all your editing and your stories like really nice, you can do it in 90.
It's like a perfect 3-minute song.
Yes. Yeah. If everything's perfect, you can do it in 90 minutes. if there you need to explain a little bit more, then I'd push it to like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Anything longer than that's a little. It feels like it drags unless you have like a really good
Unless
story.
it's a really strong theme, really
Yeah.
strong story.
Yeah, and this movie has an okay story, I think.
Yeah.
I still feel like, since we talked about it last time, it still has an okay story.
Uh-huh.
It's told very well, it's written very well, and performed very well.
Yeah.
But there's parts of it that I'm still like, I just don't understand.
Okay.
Like at the beginning of the movie, Robert De Niro is talking to somebody about his life, and you can tell that he's an old man living in a nursing home.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to him as a young man, and he tells his entire life story. And at the end, he's an old man sitting in the nursing home by himself. And at some point, he tells like the FBI agents that he's not talking to anybody. I'm like, then what the fuck was this story about? Who the hell was he telling the story to?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
She was trying to tell it to a wall.
Yeah. He was talking to some other senile old man that like was gonna die the next day or something like that. It's like, nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna talk to you. You're gonna die.
Oh.
That could have been it. I don't know.
Fuck James. That's
Yeah.
dark.
But what's the story about, Josh? Can you explain it to me?
Oh, I don't even know, man. It's kind of just about the life of Robert De Niro and his him venturing into the underworld. You know, being like kind of at first wet behind the ears and an more upstanding citizen.
Right.
Then he gets involved in his because doesn't he like he's like a delivery driver at first, right?
Yeah, he's delivering meats.
Yeah, and he's like real,
steak and shit.
Yeah, he's real. Then he just meets Joe Pesci's character, who's already juiced into the underworld, and then eventually starts working for him, doing some shady shit, and that kind of evolves his, and his life kind of evolves to doing more nefarious things for money,
Right.
and then eventually that becomes him becoming a full-fledged killer.
Yeah.
You know, doing some really bad
Full-fledged
shit.
mobster.
Full-fledged mobster.
Like one of the top ones too. Right at the end, he gets the ring and everything.
Yeah.
And they're like,
He wasn't
you're
Italian.
one
He
of us.
was the Irishman.
Yeah. Which is actually a huge thing that they would let an Irishman into the Italian mob. Because at the same time that the Italian mob was in power, there was the Irish mob in New York at the same time, and they were constantly fighting back and forth, like a lot of deaths.
Is this based on a true story? I don't even know that.
I don't think so. It's based on a book.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure the book is called I Hear You Paint Houses.
Oh,
Which-
yeah. That's
It was the weirdest thing because the title is The Irishman on Netflix, and that's what everybody calls it. But then you'd never see The Irishman as a title within the movie.
mm-hmm.
The title of the movie is I Hear You Paint Houses. That's what the title of the movie is within the movie.
Oh.
And they only say it once.
I hear you paint houses.
Yeah. And
Is that like referring to you paint houses like with spilling people's brains all over the wall?
I think so. Yeah. It's like their lingo for like I hear you do some dirty stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
That's really funny, actually.
Oh.
I hear you paint houses.
Yeah. Which is another thing that was so confusing because I saw that, and then at the end of the movie, it doesn't even say The Irishman. It's like, all right, Martin Scorsese, what the fuck are you doing
I
here?
don't know, man. He's losing his shit. Losing his mind. But
Smoke Man. It's good though.
There was a really good character development.
Oh yeah.
Really great. I think Al Pacino really crushed it super hard. I think I was saying last time, there was a couple comedian cameos that I really liked. Like Sebastian Maniscalco, I think is his name.
I don't know who that is.
He's a pretty funny comedian. Then Jim Norton, one of my favorite comedians actually, who he's supposed to be Don Rickles.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's not like the greatest acting I've ever seen, but I
Right.
just like that Jim Norton got some love in the Scorsese flick.
Yeah. And Action Bronson's in the movie.
Yeah,
Which I was blown away.
Yeah,
I
so
was
they
like,
had
oh,
some cool
shit.
cameos. That was another thing that I really liked. I felt like made me like the movie even more for sure.
Yeah.
They would cast super cool people like that.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you were about to say really, but you dialed
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I don't think it needs to be 3.5 hours long, but it's super concise, really well put together. Robert De Niro does really good, even though he's whatever 60, 70 years old.
Yeah.
He's a really old man, and you can tell, even though they de-age him throughout a good part of the movie, that he's just an old man trying to act like he's young.
Yeah. I think they did a pretty good job with the de-aging, though.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's pretty good, especially on Joe Pesci.
It's really insane that they can do that, dude.
Man.
Yeah, so, like you see them in the conversations with the Irishman on Netflix. Where they're talking about shit. It's crazy how much different they look. They look really, really old.
Yeah, because they are really old, especially Joe Pesci.
Yeah,
like he's older than all of them. And there's one part in the movie towards the end where the de-aging just didn't work.
Yeah.
And you can see old man Joe Pesci, like all the wrinkles around his chin, where they're at the hotel and he's telling Robert De Niro that he has to go on a plane, right, to Chicago or something like that. Yeah. They're on the way to a wedding and they've stopped at a hotel and they've like talked to Al Pacino, who plays Jimmy Hoffa. And it's like leading up to the murder of Jimmy Hoffa, right? Yeah. And the de-aging just didn't work.
Yeah.
Because they de-aged him a little bit. And you can just tell that it just didn't work. He looks so old. Oh, he looks worse than he already does.
Yeah.
Man. I don't know where to go with this. Because it's a good movie, but there's not a lot to talk about. Other than like the technology that went into it to de-age them, which it was good. I don't think it was the best that it's ever been done before. I don't know. What do you think about the movie?
I thought it was a really good movie. Yeah. I really enjoyed watching it. I'd probably give it like a 9.2 on a 10 scale. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. There really isn't that much to even really get into or break down. It's just a good movie. You should go. You should watch it just for yourself. You should definitely watch it. I would definitely recommend watching it.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I feel like it's not the last. Martin Scorsese is definitely not the last of the great filmmakers. Steven Spielberg is still working. Quentin Tarantino is still possibly making movies. Maybe doing a TV show. So he's still doing stuff. And there's like a bunch more that are coming out of the woodwork. Wes Anderson's making a new movie that looks pretty good.
There's probably going to be some new greats that emerge here.
Yeah.
As that always happens.
Yeah. One that I can think of is I can't say his name correctly because he's French Canadian. It's a Denis Villeneuve or something like that. He just
I don't like him already.
What?
Just kidding.
Yeah. He's got a hard name to say. I don't like him.
I'm just joking. I think I've heard of him actually.
He's really good. He directed Sicario, which is a really good movie. I think he wrote that one too, or helped write it. And he directed the recent Blade Runner 2049. And he's doing the new Dune movie, which should hopefully be really good.
Dune?
Dune?
Yeah,
it's a 1970s or 1980s book.
Okay.
That's it's like hard sci-fi, crazy stuff.
Okay.
And cool. David Lynch did a version of it that everybody hates for some reason. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
But he's doing a new version, and we'll see how it turns out.
Hopefully, that's. Yeah, there's a lot of talk around this film of like, is this Scorsese's last? Mm-hmm. And I don't think so. I think he's probably got a couple more in the chamber.
Maybe
one more like this one in the chamber.
Yeah, just one more, and then he's made enough money. Yeah. I think
he's already. Let's not be fucking silly here. He's already made enough money, and he's had enough money since probably the 70s or 80s.
Oh, well, maybe
definitely. He probably had a lot of money then, but when he reached the 90s and the 2000s, those residuals kept compounding year after year, and I mean, dude.
Yeah, he's got.
So at this point, it's not even about the money.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just the artistry that he cares about now, which is pretty good. Yeah. I like the cinematographer that did The Irishman. I think the people that shot the movie, really fucking
it's technically
good.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
from a technical standpoint.
Yeah, color grading was really nice on almost everything. Yeah, it just looked really clean. Oh, it's so
agree.
Good.
Definitely. Yeah. So I give it a 9.2. What do you give it, Seamus? 0.4.
No.
From Seamus right now.
I don't know. I would have to give it like a. I don't know, 6.75.
6.75?
Yeah, six and 3/4.
Yeah, fine. I'm not hurt at all.
I don't know. I can't explain it why I give it such a low score because
sometimes it just didn't gel with you as much.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I don't know. I think it was a good story, very well acted. Robert De Niro did Robert De Niro in this movie.
Bobby did the Bobby D.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
It's Al Pacino is definitely the standout.
Yeah, for sure. He crushed.
Amazing.
He crushed people's fucking skulls with that performance.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Sure.
Yeah, I just can't explain why I give it such a low score.
It's okay.
Especially since we always give movies such like
I know we give them pretty high scores.
High scores. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's like damn, but this one, I don't know. I feel like it's really long. Not much to talk about it.
Yeah. I spit on this movie.
It's good though. You should watch it because it's
the shit out.
It's part of film history. You know.
It is definitely.
Yeah. So if you want to check it out, it's on Netflix. It'll probably be on Netflix for a very long time.
Oh, they spent 140 million. That's gonna be there till the world ends, baby. Oh.
Yeah. So go check it out if you want to. Definitely part of history. You need to. If you like movies, you need to watch it.
Check it out.
But thank you for listening to this episode of Working Title Podcast. We'll talk to you later when we talk about another movie.
Or maybe some music.
Yeah, music would be good. We should talk about some music sometime. That's another part of what we do, so we should talk about that sometime. But thank you for listening. Talk to you later. Goodbye.